Welcome. Today we're going to be looking at proportions. You can read in your textbook on page 300 and 301. There's two objectives that we have in this section. The first objective is to determine whether or not two pairs of numbers are proportional. And then the second objective is to actually solve some proportions. So let's take a look at the first objectives. Numbers are proportional if, number one, they're equivalent fractions. So here's our problem, our example problem. We want to determine whether the numbers 2, 5 and 14, 35 are proportional. Well, I'll write 2 over 5 and 14 over 35. You can reduce both of the fractions to lowest terms to see if they're actually the same fraction. Since 14 and 35 both divide by 7, if I divide 14 by 7, I get 2. 35 divided by 7 is 5. So, yeah, I get 2 over 5 equals 2 over 5. Those are equivalent fractions, so the numbers are proportional. The second way is to convert the numbers, both of the fractions, into equivalent fractions. So if I have 2 over 5 and 14 over 35, to turn a fraction into a decimal, you take the top number and divide it by the bottom number. So you'd have 2 divided by 5. 5 doesn't go into 2, but if I add a decimal point and a 0, 5 goes into 24 times. Same thing with 35 dividing into 14. 35 doesn't divide into 14, but it divides into 140 4 times. So both of these have the decimal equivalent of 0.4, so that means that they're equivalent to each other. The third method is on page 300 in our textbook. Two fractions are equivalent to each other if I take their cross products. Now, cross means diagonal. Diagonal means top to bottom. So if I take 2 times 35, 2 times 35 is 70. The other diagonal is 14 times 5. 14 times 5 is also 70. Since the cross products are equal, the two fractions are equivalent. That makes them into a proportion. So the cross products method is a way to tell whether two fractions are equivalent to each other. If the cross products are equal, as they were in this case, 70 equals 70, that means that they are proportional. That's the first objective that we want to cover. The second one is very important. It's solving proportions. And we're going to be solving proportions using the cross product method that's there in your textbook. And this is how you're going to be required to write your workout on a test. So it would be a really good idea to practice this so that you're used to being able to write your workout in this way. One of the main objectives of this course is to work with equations. Equations are two things that are equal. There's a variable involved. We're trying to find something. We're going to write a cross products equation. Like we did with the other proportion, we're going to take the two numbers that are diagonal, x and 24. This dot means times. And the 2 and the 36. It's telling us it's a proportion because it has an equal sign between them. That means that the two fractions are equivalent. Their cross products should be equal. So here's their cross products. 24 times some mystery number x, and 2 times 36. 2 times 36 is 72. I'm going to divide on both sides by whatever is multiplied onto the variable. That's 24. I'm going to divide both sides here by 24. 24x divided by 24 just makes 1x, which is what we're looking for, is x. 1x is the same as x. 72 divided by 24 is 3. You can check your work by calculating the cross products to make sure that they're equal. 2 times 36 is 72. We already did that. The other cross product is 3 times 24 because the x we found to be 3. Is 3 times 24 also 72? Yes, it is. So since I can calculate the cross products and have them be equal, I'm certain that x equals 3 is the correct answer to that problem. A couple more down here for us to take a look at. So we want to practice by using the cross products method, okay? That means we're going to multiply the things that are diagonal to each other. It doesn't matter which way I multiply, top right to bottom left or top left to bottom right. I'll do the other way this way. 8 times x. That's going to be equal to 20 times 12. 20 times 12 is 240. I have an equation. I'm going to divide both sides here by 8 because 8x divided by 8 just makes x. 240 divided by 8 is 30. You could check your cross products if you want to make sure that we have the correct answer. The last one here says give answer in fraction form. Normally if there's a decimal, we'll just give the answer in the decimal form if it doesn't come out evenly. But sometimes they're going to ask us to give the answer in fraction form. So we're going to do our cross products here. 9 times x and 2 times 13. 2 times 13 is 26. Notice I left out the dot here between the 9 and the x. You'll see that happening. 9x means 9 times x. Anytime there's a number and a variable with nothing between them, it always means multiply. I'm going to get rid of my 9 here by dividing both sides by 9. Uh-oh. 9 doesn't go into 26 evenly, does it? So I'm going to take 26, divide it by 9. 9 goes into 26 2 times. 2 times 9 is 18. When I subtract 26 minus 18, I get 8. 8 is my remainder. Nine goes into 26 2 and 8/9 times. So that's our answer, 2 and 8/9. So you'll give your answer on that problem as a fraction. You can use your calculator if you want. It will generally give us a decimal answer, so that's why I worked this out for you to see what you do. So there's some notes on using proportions and solving proportions.